Greetings, fellow Virgin Islanders. I am Craig Barshinger, the chairman of the 30th Legislature's Committee on Energy and Environmental Protection. Today I have for you an outline of the energy plan that the senators of the 30th Legislature have come up with based on the concerns that you have expressed to us. The plan is not perfect, but it has some guaranteed results that if we go in this direction, we will bring down the WAPA rates significantly and increase the reliability in the territory. We have consulted with experts, so we have integrated what we have learned into that plan. The next step is for it to go through a series of committee hearings for us to fine-tune it. We know that the broad outlines and the energetic feasibility, meaning the engineering and the economics, are right, and it's really a matter of the politics. And so I am sharing with you where we see ourselves going with the committee so that you can continue to have input and you can support, or if you don't support, let us know what we need to change. The main supplier of electricity in the Virgin Islands is the Water and Power Authority, WAPA. It is wholly owned by the people of the Virgin Islands. In other words, you're a shareholder or a stockholder in a company called WAPA. WAPA is controlled by a board of directors who are nominated by the governor and confirmed by the legislature. The cost of electricity in the U.S. Virgin Islands is very high. The reliability is low. The VI WAPA is unable to bring the cost and reliability under control. Part of the problem has been the gross disrespect of WAPA by its largest customer, the VI government itself. Due to failure of the VI government to pay its bills, WAPA is forced to curtail maintenance. Lack of maintenance leads to breakdowns and inefficiency. Inefficiency is the cause of the high fuel surcharge, which makes up the bulk of each customer's bill. And the fuel surcharge is known to you simply as the LEAC. WAPA rates are so high that customers are abandoning WAPA in record numbers. If no action is taken, WAPA may fail completely in 7 to 10 years, as all its strong customers invest in their own generation, leaving WAPA with an ever smaller customer base that cannot support the WAPA operation. Paradoxically, if WAPA embarks on capital expenditures after the exodus has accelerated, it may hasten the collapse. Therefore, the time to fix WAPA is now. The failure of WAPA would not be a good thing for the Virgin Islands. The legislature of the Virgin Islands has the ability to bring relief. Several senators have drafted 4 pieces of legislation that can bring relief if enacted together. I, as chairman of the Energy and Environmental Protection Committee, held a hearing to consider these bills on June 11th, the first of a series of hearings. The June 11th hearing can be seen on Legit TV, airing periodically. The bills that we have provide for 1, a resolution declaring an energy emergency, 2, short-term relief, 3, mid-term relief, and 4, long-term relief. The first legislation is a resolution that declares an energy crisis, acknowledges our commitment to taking action, and requests technical, financial, and environmental assistance from the federal government. Senator Myron Jackson is the primary sponsor. This bill was approved by the Energy and Environmental Committee on June 11th and forwarded to the Rules Committee. The second legislation is a bill to bring short-term relief by capping the LEAC. It requires a funding source. The LEAC will be capped for 24 months while the midterm relief kicks in. Senator Jeanette Millen Young is the primary sponsor. The third legislation is a bill to bring midterm relief. It will permanently lower the LEAC to half of what it is now. Further, it provides a funding source for the short-term relief. The mechanism of the midterm relief is to separate WAPA into two companies. VI Energy LLC will be in charge of generating the electricity. WAPA will remain in charge of maintaining the transmission and distribution lines, billing, and water. VI Energy LLC will be sold or leased by the executive branch to the winning bidder in a competitive bidding process. The winning bidder will generate electricity with less than half the fuel. Automatically, the LEAC will be cut in half. The legislation has other guidance, such as requiring the bidder to be bonded and insured to guarantee results. There will be a one-year transition period. I am the primary sponsor of the bill to separate WAPA into WAPA and VI Energy LLC. I'm also working with Senator Narita Rivera O'Reilly on this measure. She favored a complete privatization of WAPA when she filed a drafting request in January 2013. She has since reconsidered her position, but she still has the authorship rights to privatization. My bill to separate WAPA and sell or lease a portion of it thus is preempted by Senator O'Reilly's bill. So I'm going to continue to work with her to ask her to bring that bill forward so that it can be considered, or to relinquish authorship so that I can fulfill this path and get the funding we need for a short-term relief as well as the mid and long-term relief. Privatization versus separation. Two options. The pros and cons of both strategies will be considered in hearings of the Committee on Energy and Environmental Protection. Now, the fourth legislation in our plan is a feed-in tariff, also known as the FIT bill. It's feed-in tariff and the distributed energy grid measure that will bring long-term relief. It has already been drafted and is available for public review on our website or by calling any Senate office. It is based on model legislation from other states, customized for the Virgin Islands. It empowers every customer of the Water and Power Authority to be both a customer and a supplier. In other words, Virgin Islanders have a right to consume energy at a certain price and a right to supply energy for consumption by others at another price. The rates for consumption and supply are set to allow the Water and Power Authority to recover the cost of maintaining the transmission and distribution network and to promote private investment in a distributed energy grid. Modernization of the current generation system is needed. Currently, the Water and Power Authority system cannot accept a large amount of renewable energy. The midterm relief bill remedies this deficiency. That's why all of these bills need to be considered together in relation to each other. This is a tough problem, but we have a solution, and these four measures explain it. Now, I am the primary sponsor of the feed-in tariff bill. The feed-in tariff bill will welcome rent-a-roof companies which rent roof space and sell power to the utility for a fixed period, usually 20 years. Thus, every Virgin Islander with a roof or yard will be able to profit from renewable energy, even those without sufficient money to invest on their own. Looking to the future, beyond these four measures, the Virgin Islands will look to mature technologies such as pumped hydroelectric storage to diminish the amount of fossil fuel burned in the Virgin Islands from $300 million to $50 million or less. We will also look to emerging technologies such as utility-scale batteries. Fossil fuel remains a highly effective source of energy. However, it is expensive. With time, it should be used only as backup energy. The Virgin Islands is blessed with fuel-free sources of energy such as sun and wind. These renewable sources are sufficient to meet our entire demand for energy. Our distributed energy grid should be sized and configured to use fuel-free sources day and night. The legislature aims to put the Virgin Islands on the path to electricity that is reliable and costs under 20 cents per kilowatt hour. Those who invest in their own generation are already achieving this target. The legislature will need the support of Virgin Islanders to enact the necessary changes so that all can benefit from such affordable rates. So I encourage you to ask questions, attend hearings, dialogue with your senators, and by all means get involved. We hear you. We know you're suffering. Individuals are suffering. Businesses are suffering. But we have entrenched interests in doing things just as we are right now. We cannot bring the cost down and boost the reliability if we do things the way we are right now. It takes a change, and I've just outlined a path to some of those changes through the 4 measures that my colleagues and I have come up with. So let's work together, let's have confidence, and let's do it now so that more businesses do not fail. Let's keep them going, and let's bring the people who are presently living without current because they were unable to pay their bills back onto the grid so that we can all enjoy the benefits of a modern lifestyle. Thank you very much. This is Craig Barshinger, your chairman of the Committee on Energy and Environmental Protection.